Jacqueline. Since December, we've lost Danny Riglio, who was a senior in high school. About 6 weeks ago, we lost Sam McNolly, who was only 23 years old, to a drug overdose. And now we lost Brendan Carr, who was a 13-year-old middle school. So that's 3 young people just starting out in life. Lost
and 3 older people, 3 adults.
3 adults. So there's a lot of hurt right now, Andy, in our Long Beach community. So I think more than ever, we have to keep raising awareness because, and folks, anyone who's watching this show, please share these videos, because the more people that see, because everyone that's contributed tonight has spoken from the heart. I can't even imagine what Jacqueline has gone through, losing a child, and Delaney spoke from your heart, and Andy, who's 40 years of experience, and Grace, who had an intimate relationship with Danny. I mean, everyone has spoken from the heart, and so many important issues have been raised tonight, and that's why everyone should go on Facebook and Halftime Howie Show and share these videos, because you'll help someone. And there was a story last month, Colleen, who shared her thoughts on recovery, and she was on Park Avenue in Long Beach, and someone got out of the car and said to her, total stranger, walked up to her and gave her a hug and said, I saw you share on recovery on the Halftime Howie Show, and you inspired me, and gave her a hug. And that's what can happen, that this might be somebody out there really hurting. And I know there's a lot of people hurting right now, because when, you know, Danny's taking his own life is still fresh in people's minds. It happened in December. Now we have Brendan, 13 years old, and it's devastating. And there's a lot of hurt out there. So moving forward, I think that people need to talk and get involved, Andy.
Well, I think it says it all here. It says talk saves lives. And I think that the opposite of that is a conspiracy of silence. And we have to really move beyond that. So I think this is this conversation here, and you know, as eloquent as these 3 ladies are about each of the situations that they're experiencing, and the courage that they have to be able to share this with a large number of people in such a public way, is really magnificent. And so I thank you, and I think that you're role models for what others might do when there are tragic circumstances.
You know, sometimes when we do these shows, obviously it's very sad, but you know, sometimes I like to just turn the corner a little bit and change direction. And you know, I think which will be healing to a lot of people is, I'm going to start with you, Grace, on this. Talk about what made Danny special. Talk about some of the great memories that made him so special. And let's reflect on the wonderful things he did in his short life.
Yeah. Danny he was great, honestly. He was one of the sweetest kids I've ever met in my life. And
how'd you meet him?
How'd I meet? He was my best friend. They were in art together, and I went to that art class all the time just because I wanted to. I didn't want to be in class because class. But we started hanging out, and I don't know, one day, or really out of the blue, he just kissed me. I was like, all right, okay. And that's how it progressed. And he was really into music and art. And he drawed, and he was really good at guitar and piano, and he couldn't sing. He just couldn't do it.
Who were some of his favorite musicians? Who did he love? Who was his, like,
He loved Coldplay and Ed Sheeran.
Okay, what are some of your memories of him? Some, like, things that you did that you really remember, that you stand out? Some of the really good memories you had with Danny? Birthday parties, proms, anything that you can remember. A lot of fun you had with him.
No, there are so many, but I feel like the best ones are just us sitting at home watching movies, you know? Like,
just chilling.
Yeah, because he wasn't very social, you know? It was just me and, like, my small group of friends that he was really attached to, you know? And I'm glad I was able to give him a great end of his life.
You did.
Jacqueline, just share some stories about Danny. The things that can make you laugh, or what made him special, or things that will. Let's share some good stories. Because I want it to be some uplifting moments. So share some up stories about Danny.
Daniel was just a scream. I have to say, he could get your goat, but then he would just also melt your heart. I would walk up the stairs and he would be playing on his electric guitar, Pretty Woman, and I would be like screaming up the stairs, "Save that for your girlfriend!" But I appreciate it, like Pretty Woman, And he would play songs for me. We went up to Montreal last summer because he wanted to get a tattoo. And of course my mother and my whole family was like, "Oh my God, he'll never be a lawyer." I'm like, I wasn't really thinking he was going to be a lawyer anyway. So in Canada, you're allowed to get tattoos at like any age. So hence the tattoo. I'm sure there's going to be a rush of people going to Montreal now. But Danny and I went to Montreal. He was a big Francophile, so we went up and we got the tattoos for him. He was 16, and I said, "You know what? Live and let live." He wanted to get this tattoo, and so we got him his tattoo that he did himself. He loved joking around with me. He was, he was a little bit obstreperous. We had this like secret credit card from my husband sitting over there. There's Chris, that's not his dad, but we had a Danny Mommy credit card, and once in a while I'd be like, "Danny, Mommy just paid that off." I went to use our little Danny Mommy credit card, and there was like nothing left. So, and of course we'd be getting like all kinds of clothes from England and clothes from France, over through the internet. But you know what? I'm so grateful that he enjoyed himself. He had a wonderful life. He was beloved by many people. Grace, my husband, we had I used to tell him in the morning, I called hotels.com and I would get a hotel room and we'd go to the theater that night, and it was like a joy to him. We go to the theater, we go have like a ridiculous dinner, and of course my husband was very generous. So just like, on a regular, like a Tuesday night or something, if I got like $180 room in Manhattan and we buy tickets to see a play, he was really into that. So I was really grateful that I was able to provide like a lot of special experiences for him while he was here. He was very loving and very attentive to me. So, and he still is, in my mind. I can hear him. He tells me things. So, he was a special and still is special. I think he's given me another purpose. But we'll see, we all have, the universe has its roles for us. But I know that, he certainly introduced me to Gracie here and to you all. And I hope I can be helpful.
Thank you so much for sharing. And